Hi, class. My name is Chris Runke, and I look forward to seeing all your presentations. But today, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about management information systems in the real world, in the business place. The Specifically, I wanted to go ahead and talk about enterprise systems and how they relate to specifically my current business and where I work. It's not my business, but it's a very large company. They primarily deal with inventory and things of that nature. Orders, POs, or shipments, things like that. But they're massive, and so these enterprise systems play a significant role in how they operate and how they stay going on the day to day basis. So I wanted to do a little analysis on that, and since it's so vital and important to what I do every day, and break it down a little, with all the information that we've learned from this class, and even present some challenges that they face and some difficulties that they have going forward. Um, our book defines, get or breaks enterprise systems into three categories. They say there are enterprise resource planning mechanisms, supply chain management, and then customer relation management as well. Um, Primarily, the company I'm with works with SAP. I'm sure that I'm sure that tons of you guys have used the program in the past. Some use it currently, and there's a lot to it. But at the same time, there are a lot of difficulties as well. Getting it to work, knowing how to twist its arm, I guess, at times to get everything working correctly. Um, but that program is huge and very, very, very important in what it can do for us in the company. Specifically, it handles anything from purchase orders, taking down customer orders, tracking information, billing, anything along those lines. It helps us order supplies, do shipments, and I guess most importantly, keep track of our stock. Everything we move, everything we touch, needs to be addressed within SAP to ensure it's in its correct location, that we can find it in the future, and that there are no issues or stocking discrepancies or stockouts. Um, and so that's all for the day to day things. Um, Outside of that, I mean, there's just so many logistical issues that go into it as well. SAP helps us to stay on top of those and ensure that there aren't any customer failures along the way. Um, Tied into SAP is a CRM. It's based in SAP, but the customer relations management is tied into them as well. They play a significant role in maintaining all the customer information, keeping track of all the orders that they do, any preferences, any specific ways that they like to do business, and all of that's maintained as well in SAP through their CRM function. But not only that, they help us maintain our expenses. They have, I think the term for it's a portal. It's a portal for our internal needs, things like that. So they have an internal intranet through this portal. Anything that we would need information, we can look up any sort of oddball things, reporting, things like that. They also offer help with the expenses, with ordering maybe something like office supplies or some more some of the simple things like paper or pens, even coffee. Anything that in the office that you would need. Um, and also they're good for oddball billing, things like of that nature. So anything you can kind of imagine, SAP plays some form of role in keeping our business up and running every single day. Another interesting feature that they've recently added into our enterprise systems and our whole system as a go was a social aspect to it. They had an enterprise social piece, of social media, but just for the company. So inside of this, there they you have a profile. You can make your own profile and things like that. But interestingly enough, I've worked there for about 8 years now, and I don't know a single person who uses it. I don't know why, but it hasn't caught on like Facebook. But we'll see. There's still plenty of time in the future to see where it can go. Um, but that's just kind of an overview of what the company does, and some of the key systems that keep everything running and going well. If we take it back a notch, so what's difficult in there? Why does everything run perfectly all the time? Are there any challenges? Does anything give us trouble? Um, the first thing I'll say is, since we only use SAP for the majority of our business functions, it's only one program. One every once in a while, of course, just like any other system, the network goes down, everything crashes, and suddenly we're back to the Stone Age. Um, it, it's very difficult to proceed moving forward. The only real thing that we can rely on is paper and pencil and a good old hard copy of inventory. So that is one of the biggest things with these systems, these servers, these data centers. When everything does go down, it's catastrophic. And so, in using these enterprise systems, it's so vital that they're backed up, they're redundant, and that they can keep moving forward, through thick and thin. Because without it, it's very difficult to do business as usual. It can cost our company millions of dollars within a day. And so, as one key challenge. The other is constantly needing to patch things. They and I'm unsure if they're using any legacy systems or things like that. I know that they've invested billions of dollars into their own in-house database and network, but I'm uncertain how much the legacy stuff is tied in there. They've been around for a very long time, so it is very possible they still use them, but this goes along with any IT system as well. They're constantly patching and fixing things all the time. So there's tons of bugs, and there's always things getting worked out, primarily due to just the way the systems interact. And so they'll fix little things here, patches especially on the weekends, things like that. I think UST, they're constantly doing things. They'll tell us, Blackboard's out at this time just for updates and things like that, or our webmail is down, during the night on this day and this day. So, it's very common practice, but it's a challenge too to make sure everything's up to date and functioning and running properly. And to give you one last challenge, and this is primarily my own issue, but we've just recently rolled out a new program. A lot of you've heard of it. It's called Salesforce.com. A fun little tool, but just like any new program, there's going to be a lot of resistance, a lot of difficulty integrating this into what you already have, and getting it to operate and function well. So this Salesforce, they presented it to me, but we need to be using this program all day, every day to work with our customers. And the introduction for me consisted of one, page of a PowerPoint. And then they said, oh, no, we need your help somewhere else. And that was it. And so I got to look at, one page of a PowerPoint for a good 30 seconds. And then the expectation was to use Salesforce, from here on out. And so I had no idea what I was doing, and I didn't know how to function with it. So, my point is, all these programs that they need management. They need the upper management to help integrate it into and ensure that it's being followed on the ground. Because with a little introduction like that, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to process it or how to do anything properly. So naturally, I had some resistance to doing it, and so it took a good 2 months to really, for them to come back around and say, we need to get this thing wrapped up, and we need everybody to learn to be using it. And then I got the extended version, the 2-minute tutorial, and I've been using it ever since. So there's a little covert resistance on my part, trying to keep things the way they are, just because it is difficult to roll something out. And it is difficult to stay on top of it and then do it in the real business world without management working with you to make sure everything's integrated properly. And so those are just some of the things that I've dealt with in my experience in the business world regarding enterprise systems. They're fun, they're intricate, very unique, very helpful, but each business is different, and they're so vital to getting just the easy, simple things done at work these days. So I hope you learned something. I hope you had some fun, and I look forward to seeing everybody else's presentations. Thank you.